Hello, everyone. On this podcast episode, I'm going to talk about The Matrix again, the movie, and the hidden truth within The Matrix. You know, if you watch the movie The Matrix, you realize that, just like I said in a different, episode where I talked about The Matrix, you realize that Neo could never escape The Matrix because, Neo is The Matrix. The Matrix is Neo, and Neo is the Matrix. Because the Matrix is Neo, Neo can never escape himself. The real world, the real world within the Matrix, if you watch the movie The Matrix, you realize that, you'll be told at some point in time, if you watch the movie, Neo will be told, there's a real world that he needs to escape towards, right? The Matrix is a fake world, a dream world, right? And then there's a real world that, Neo needs to escape towards, destroy the Matrix and escape to the real world. But what Neo doesn't realize is that the real world isn't real. It's fake. The story about the real world, about, how the Matrix conquered humanity, how robots conquered humanity and forced them into a Matrix is a lie. It's a lie. There was never a real world to begin with. The real world is actually just another part of the Matrix. It has to be. Because if you watch the movie The Matrix, you realize that at some point in time, Neo goes to like a room. He meets the architect, right? He meets, the architect. Or in this, the architect symbolizes God. Or at least it symbolizes some sort of angel. He meets the architect, right? And within that room, you see like videos upon videos upon videos of Neo, past videos of Neo inside that room. If they're past videos that, these past videos symbolize Neo's previous lives. So think about it. If Neo was capable of escaping the Matrix, right? How come he's already escaped the Matrix multiple times before? The videos in the architect's room shows that Neo has escaped the Matrix multiple times before. He's destroyed the Matrix, he's gone to the real world. The fake real world. He's been there multiple times before. So how can that real world be real if Neo has visited that world multiple times before in previous lives? So obviously, Morpheus, the god of dreams, the one who brought Neo to the real world, is a liar. Is a manipulative liar. He symbolizes Satan, the deceiver, the slanderer. That's what Morpheus symbolizes. A liar who deceived Neo into thinking he can escape himself. He tricked Neo into thinking he's living in some sort of matrix, and then brought him to a real world. And that real world is also a fake world. The whole story about, about machines destroying humanity and forcing them into a matrix was a lie. It never existed to begin with. Neo could never escape the matrix because there wasn't a matrix to begin with. The only thing that's physically impossible to escape, right? The only thing that has zero chances of escaping is the only prison you can never escape from. That's, virtually impossible to escape from, is a prison that you were never trapped in to begin with. If you were never trapped, right, you can never escape. Because in order to escape, you must first be trapped. The only reason why Neo can never escape the Matrix is because Neo was never trapped in the Matrix to begin with. Neo can never escape himself because he was never trapped within himself to begin with. That's what the Matrix is telling you. The whole thing was a massive lie. If the Matrix world was a real dream, right? You can't escape a dream by fighting. That's what the Bible tells you. Stop arguing, stop fighting, stop causing conflict. You can't escape a dream by fighting it. The more you fight, the more you see there are more things to fight. The more you argue, the more the more arguments will exist for you. The more you bully others, the more you realize there are more bullies to bully. The more you insult others, you find out there are more people who insult you for you to insult. It just goes on infinitely. You create more problems for yourself than you can possibly realize. When you go towards the gates of hell, you realize you're just creating more conflict for yourself. And that's what Neo experienced. Throughout the entire Matrix, all Neo did was fight and argue. Fought and fought and fought. And in the end, he was just fighting himself. He was fighting himself. And if you fight yourself, you will always lose. Because the only person you'll defeat is yourself. And that's the problem with Neo. He was fighting a Matrix that wasn't fighting him to begin with. He was fighting himself. So how can he not lose when he's fighting himself? If you want to wake up, if you want to escape a dream, right? Since the Matrix is a dream, you can't escape a dream by fighting it. You can't escape a dream by arguing. You can't escape a dream by insulting everyone around you. The only way to wake up from a dream is to wake up. The only way to escape a dream is to wake up. It's that simple. Because the dream wasn't trapping you to begin with. You were never trapped in the dream to begin with. So if all you do is fight inside your dreams, you turn a peaceful dream into a nightmare. If all you do is fight in this world thinking you escape the Matrix, you escape this world by fighting and using violence to solve your answers. Violence always works. That's what you think, right? You think violence always works. You're not escaping anywhere. You're not escaping nothing. You just create more problems for yourself in the future. The more you're violent, the more violence will come to you. If you insult a police officer, the police officer will insult you back. If you bully a police officer, the police officer will bully you back. If you're nice to police officers, they'll be nice to you. If you create problems for yourself by fighting everything around you, you realize there will be more things to fight. You'll be creating more things to fight. If you want to escape this world, you can't escape this world by fighting. You just can't. You're not doing what you think you're doing. You're not doing what you think you're doing. That's what the Bible keeps warning you. Stop sinning. It's not taking you where you think you're going. If you think you're going to escape this world by violence, suicide, and all these things, you're not going where you think you're going. You can't escape yourself. Everything in this world is God. That includes you. And you can never escape God because you can never escape yourself. You can't escape the Matrix because the Matrix is you. Just because you call it the Matrix does not mean it's a real, it's a trap. Just because you call it a prison does not mean you were trapped to begin with. And that's what you need to realize. This world is never a trap, was never a trap. You weren't trapped here to begin with. That's why you can't escape. The only thing you can't escape is something you weren't trapped in to begin with. Because you're already free. How can you escape? If you're already free, how can you escape? You can't. Just like, you can wake up from a dream anytime you want. You can escape anytime you want. So who's trapping you? Who's keeping you here? No one but yourself. You chose to enter this world. No one forced you here. God didn't force you here. It was a choice. You always have the free will. You always have free will. Stop blaming the world for your problems. Just like Neo. Instead of accepting that he's the one making mistakes, he can't, Morpheus tricked him into believing that the problem wasn't himself. The problem wasn't the fact that he kept making bad choices for himself. His life was miserable because of him. He kept making bad choices. He forced himself to stay in a job he didn't like. He forced himself to hang out with people he didn't like. And his life was miserable because of that. You hang out with people you don't like. You do a job, you work at a job you don't like. How can you be happy? How can you ever be happy? The problem isn't the dream. The problem is you. You're creating problems for yourself. If you keep creating problems for yourself, stop blaming the problems. It's you. If you keep arguing with everyone, stop blaming everyone. You're the one who keeps arguing with them. If you keep fighting with everyone, stop blaming everyone. You're the one who's keep creating, fights. Who keeps creating problems for yourself. No one wants to fight you. Stop fighting others. No one wants to argue with you. Stop arguing with others. No one wants to bully you. Stop bullying others. Just move on with your life. Leave the God of dreams alone. Leave Morpheus, the God of dreams, alone. He's not telling you the truth. Satan will never tell you the truth. Satan will never tell you you're the problem. They'll always tell you to blame everyone else but yourself. You're the problem. The problem is you. If you don't change yourself, if you don't change your mindset, if you don't change your character, the world, your life will only get more and more miserable. And the problem isn't the world. The problem is you. You always have the free will to move away from people who harm you. You always have the free will to find a way out. You always have a free will to choose the most beneficial path for yourself in life. You always have the free will to go towards heaven. And you always have the free will to go towards hell. It's a choice. You can't escape the matrix because you were never trapped to begin with. You can never escape a dream because you were never trapped to begin with. All you do when you find inside a dream is create more problems for yourself. If you want to wake up from a dream, just wake up. If you want to escape a dream, it's very easy. Just wake up. Wake up and stop fighting. Wake up and stop arguing. Wake up and stop bullying others. Wake up and stop insulting others. And you get up, you escape the dream. It is that easy. Fighting inside a dream doesn't help you escape it. Arguing inside a dream does not help you escape it. Bullying people inside a dream would never help you escape it. The only way to escape a dream is to simply just wake up. It's that easy. So if you believe this is a matrix, this is a trap, this is a prison, just know that it was never a prison to begin with. That's why you can't escape. You can't escape something that you're already free from. You just can't. It is physically impossible to escape something that you weren't trapped in to begin with. Neo was never trapped in the matrix. He was only tricked into thinking he was trapped in the matrix. He was fighting himself the whole time. That's what Neo was doing. There was never a real world to begin with. That was also a lie. The real world didn't exist because everything was the matrix. Everything was Neo. And the whole matrix is one. Everything was Neo, because Neo is the matrix and the matrix is Neo. Since Neo and the matrix are one, what is he escaping from? Himself? Who is he fighting? Himself. Who is he arguing with? Himself. Who is he bullying? Himself. Who is he escaping from? Himself. And you can never escape from yourself in this world, because you will always be you. So instead of trying to escape from yourself, try to change yourself. Love yourself as who you are. You're not worthless. You're not worthless. Never see yourself as worthless, because everything in this world is God, and God is not worthless. Never see yourself as trash. Never see yourself as worthless. And stop seeing this world as some sort of trap. It's not. It's never been a trap. Because you are this world and this world is you. You're God and God is you. So if you try to escape God, good luck. Why do you think sin could never defeat God? Because everything in this world is God, including Satan. So he was fighting a battle he was bound to lose to begin with. Because you can't defeat yourself. The moment you defeat yourself, you end up realizing that you still lost. You lost. You can't defeat yourself. And this is what you need to realize. The Bible teaches you to avoid fighting yourself. The Bible teaches you to avoid sinning. Because people who sin are just fighting themselves. People who sin are just arguing with themselves. People who sin are just bullying themselves. That's all they're doing. They get no benefits from it. They get no joy from it. All they gain is misery for their efforts. All they do is lose. After spending all that time and effort fighting yourself, end up realizing that you're still lost. You're still lost. The Matrix is a pretty great movie, man. It teaches you, it shows you, that the whole thing is a massive scam. Sin will always delude you into thinking that being violent and cruel is always the way to, is always the answer. It always tells you that being violent and cruel, being evil, will solve all your problems. Being evil will never solve your problems in life. It will only create more problems for you in the future. That's all it will do. Being an evil person will only create more problems for you in the future. Because everything in this world is God. Everything in this world is you. So when you harm others, you're harming yourself. When you bully others, you're bullying yourself. When you insult others, you're insulting yourself. When you look down on others, you're looking down on yourself. When you see this world as a trap, you are trapping yourself. This world was never a trap to begin with. You can't escape something that you're already free from to begin with. And that's what you need to realize. You were never trapped here, so how can you escape? You've always been free, so where are you escaping to? Who are you escaping from? The only thing you're escaping from is your bad choices. When you've ruined your own life, that's when you want to escape. That's when you start thinking this whole world's a matrix. When you're living a happy life, you never think about escaping. Those moments when you're happy, it didn't cross your mind to try to escape anything, did it? It's only when your life is miserable, that's when you want to escape. If you want to escape, the easiest thing is to wake up. Wake up and stop arguing. Wake up and stop fighting. Wake up and stop, harming others. Your life is miserable because of you, not because of the world. It's because of you. Change your behavior. Change the way you see the world. Change the way you see yourself. You're not worthless. Because this whole world is you. This whole world is God. And God is also you. You've never been worthless, and you'll never be worthless. And that's what you need to learn. Stop trying to escape yourself. Because when you escape yourself, you end up realizing that you're still here. Even after you escaped yourself, you still end up realizing that you're still here. Even after escaping this world, there are people who like to commit suicide, They want to escape this world so badly, they commit suicide. Without realizing that, even after you killed yourself, you wake up and realize you're still here. You're still here. You are still you. You haven't changed. So how do you expect the world to change when you haven't changed? You just can't. The problem isn't the world. The problem is you. This world is just like a dream. If you think dying will somehow wake you up from the dream, you just end up realizing that, just like Neo. He thought, destroying the Matrix would wake him up, without realizing that, the real world is just another Matrix. It's just another part of the Matrix. You didn't escape the Matrix to begin with. When you die from this world, you end up realizing that you're still inside, another world. You escape this world and end up realizing you're inside of another world. And you'll still be yourself inside that world. You didn't escape. Because you can never escape yourself. You can never escape yourself. Dying in this world is waking up in a different world. Just like, when you wake up from a dream, you enter this world. When you die in this world, it's like waking up. You wake up from this world into a different world. It just goes on and on. This is how reality works. It works just like a dream. When you go to sleep, you enter a dream. When you die in that dream, you wake up in this dream. When you die in this dream, you wake up in a different one. It just goes on and on and on. If you're someone who thinks, you can escape the world, you can't, because the world is you. The world is you. Stop trying to escape something, you weren't trapped in to begin with. You're not trapped in this world because the world is you. You'll never be trapped in yourself, man. Change your mind, change your life. Stop seeing this world as an evil world. It's because you see this world as an evil world. That's why this world is evil just for you. Other people see this world as a great world, and this world is great for them. People see this world as a great world where people help others. Because they see this world as a great world where people help others. People help them because they help others. When you see this world as a kind world, you'll be kinder to others, and others will be kinder to you. This is how this world works. You see this world as an evil world, it's not the world that's evil, it's you. If you see this world as a violent world, it's not the world that's violent, it's you. If you see this world as a cruel world, it's not the world that's cruel, it's you. You are the problem, not the world. Because you keep trying to escape something, you weren't trapped in to begin with. You weren't trapped in this world. So how can you escape? You were never trapped in the Matrix to begin with. So how can you escape the Matrix? You just can't. So that's it for today's podcast episode. I pray for everyone's safety and understanding. Amen.